Hello and happy Wednesday morning, everyone. It's Corey Poirier here, the founder of Blue Talks and the author of the book of Why and How. I wanted to jump on board today just for a couple of reasons. I'm just going to be on for probably about 10 minutes, but I just wanted to test something new. I just got approved for LinkedIn Live today. And so I wanted to test LinkedIn Live and see how it works over on LinkedIn and take a peek at the video later just to see how it broadcasts and how it all plays out. So I wanted to come on and sort of test, like I say, test LinkedIn Live now that I have it, and then at the same time share some news with you guys. So first bit of news is the book of Why and How. I know you guys, if you've been following me for a bit, you've seen the book for a while. So seeing the book isn't new. So you're probably saying, what do you mean new? This book was a self-published book for a while. Then it went over to Morgan James, the New York publisher, who has it now. And so how could this be new? The newness is the cover. So I don't know if you can see that there, but we finally got the international bestseller status at the top of the book. On the back of the book, we added a new endorsement by T. Harv Eker. So hopefully you know who T. Harv Eker is, but if you don't, he's the author of The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. And then we got some new endorsements on the inside of the book as well. So just some new fancy changes to the book. Like I say, the real big one is just to show that it's an international bestseller. So that's first bit of news, is that finally have the new book. And for those who thought that the book, I guess promotion was done after we hit a bunch of the bestseller charts, I just want to let you know that was just phase one. We got hit by phase two with the COVID situation. It kind of threw things off. So I decided to push the relaunch until late fall. So you will see lots coming out about the book very soon. I will say as well that we have a lot of plans for how we're going to get the book into a lot of hands of influencers. And so stay tuned is what I'll call it. But we're nowhere near done with the book. Before I jump into the next bit of big news, I thought, like I usually do, I'll open the book and grab a spot that I'll share with you as an insight that hopefully you can take away with your day today. So the bit of the insight in this book is actually a quote or an excerpt from my book, Standing Ovations from Every Customer, about creating customer experiences. So this is a quote that I put in the book, and I'll explain what I mean by the quote in a second and how you can use it in your life. But the quote says, can you imagine paying the equivalent of $100 for a ticket to see the Beatles back in the 1960s, and then seeing one of them answer the phone to text someone halfway through a song, for John to take a call from Yoko perhaps? There would have been a riot, or at least a lot of unhappy and vocal fans. So why is it more acceptable now? And so what I was referring to there, again, it's from my other book, but it's an excerpt from it talking about being in the moment. What I was referring to there is the idea of us always being on our phones when we're in front of customers or talking to customers or distracted. And what I'm putting out there is, think about a band as epic as the Beatles. Imagine if John, in between a bunch of songs, stopped and looked at his phone instead of delivering the wow for his customer. It wouldn't go over well. Well, much the same way, I believe you should be delivering wows for your customer, and look at it like that. You're on stage all the time when you're in front of a customer, so don't treat them like they're next. So that's what I want to share as far as a little takeaway from the book of Why and How is go all in. Say no to the distractions as much as possible and be all in with the person in front of you now rather than focusing on who's next. So that's from the book of Why and How. Again, the newness there is that we just got the brand new edited version of it. Not really edited, I guess, but redesigned version of it. So that was the first thing I want to share. Then I said a teaser in the subject matter that I was going to share what Kate Hudson said to me about what role passion played in her career and her life and her success. And I will circle back to what Stuart, or Kevin Sussman, the actor, said as well. Stuart from Big Bang Theory, but I'm going to leave that as a teaser. So first of all, what Kate Hudson said to me. So I asked Kate Hudson probably 2 years ago when I had a chance to meet her. I asked her about passion and how big of a role it played in her life. And she said, essentially, without passion, there would have been, she wouldn't have made it. There wouldn't have been, it was the biggest factor, being passionate about what she does. I shouldn't say she wouldn't have made it, but it would have been harder to make it. But she said passion was everything. And so translation for us, passion is everything. So if the highest of achievers believe it's important to find your calling or your why, then I believe it's important for all of us too as well. You might be surprised to hear what Stuart from Big Bang said to me though, and I'll share that shortly. But again, take it from Kate Hudson. She's had a lot of success, and she said passion is everything. I will say that I have a lot of people dispute that with me and say that passion's overrated, and they're tired of hearing people say find your passion and everything will be perfect. That's a whole different conversation, I think, because people telling you to find your passion or that you're a failure unless you do is a whole totally different thing than you discovering your calling. So maybe I'll revisit that later on. But that's kind of I just wanted to address that because when I used to have the show Conversations with Passion, the latter years, people were starting to complain a lot more about the word passion. In fact, that's why we changed the name to Let's Do Influencing. So that's your takeaway, what Kate Hudson said to me about finding your passion or living with passion. The next bit of big news is that we launched Blue Talks last week. I don't know if you've seen it, seen the news, or if you're catching up now, but we launched the whole Blue Talks brand last week. It's I'm going to call it a phase-in launch. It's a step-by-step launch. Baby steps. It was never intended to be a big launch all at once. For instance, I haven't started doing the big round of media yet or anything. I wanted the soft launch to make sure we had everything in place and everything was flowing perfectly before we really went all in. But thus far, been going well. I think we have we're approaching 4,000 or 5,000 views on the YouTube videos for the talks that took place. So we have 3 talks up, and I think across those 3, we have about 4,000 views, I believe, right now. Again, we're only a little over a week, so I'm really happy with that. With the podcast, we reached, I think, our height so far, number 6 on the iTunes charts. It's been on the charts. This is really cool. Been on the charts since the day we launched, which I believe was last Monday, and it's still in the charts now. And when I last looked, it was number 12. So you all, everybody that's following us, supporting us, the people within the Blue Talks community, you all make that possible. So thank you for being you. Thank you for being the best. So the podcast is doing well, and we're in the pre-sales for the books. So the Blue Talks book series, we're in the pre-sales. We'll be going over to Amazon in about a week and a half or 2 weeks, I expect. But we're in the pre-sales mode, and sales are going really well. So Blue Talks is launched. What you can expect and what Blue Talks is, what you can expect from Blue Talks is to see a lot of people sharing messages and stories that could change your life. The idea is to inspire you, to motivate you. We don't hide from that. We want people that are inspiring and motivating people, but to inspire you, motivate you, but also to get you thinking, to share strategies that you can use to change your life and the way you do things. So we really want it to be a fully immersive brand that helps people share their message with others. And if you're the person receiving the message, it can change your life. I mean, that's really what it is. It might inspire or motivate you to take action, might give you the action that it wants you to take. It might get you thinking about how you could be doing different things differently, might transform your way of thinking. But we want it to be all of that, or at least pieces of that. So Blue stands for Business, Life, Universe. And what that means is that the brand can encompass business messages or strategies, life stories, or things about the universe, which could be things like synchronicity, stories about synchronicity or healing or holistic health, stuff like that. So again, Blue Talks is now officially live, and you can find what you need to know about Blue Talks at bluetalks.com, bluetalksbook.com. On YouTube, search Blue Talks, of course, and on iTunes, search Blue Talks. So you can find any of those platforms. You can go over and check them out by those links I just mentioned. We're also on Facebook on the Blue Talks Presents Amplify Your Message and Blue Talks Present Flip Your Script, which are both public channels where you can find us and Blue Talks messages as well. And more big news, we are actually going to be running our next 2 virtual summits with major Blue Talk speakers and major guests and friends. So those take place on September, 14th to the end of that week, so Monday to Friday. And we have some really cool speakers like Dave Carroll, who's the United Breaks guitar guy. We also are running the Amplify Your Message event again, September 28th to October 2nd, so the end of that week. And we have everyone from Larry Winget, the pitbull of personal development, to James Redfield, who wrote the Celestine Prophecy, Jesse Ecker, who would be T. Harv Ecker's son. We have also Hannah Fitz, who's an amazing branding expert. I can't say which one yet, but it looks like we're going to have a member of the Shark Tank on as well. So lots of big news in that area as well. So Blue Talks is officially rolling. I told you as well, I would tell you about what Stuart said about passion and the role it played in his career. And it shocked me when, again, Stuart from Big Bang Theory, real name Kevin Sussman, I asked him about how important a role passion played in his life. And he said he thinks he would have probably found his way to acting anyway. And it wasn't really his passion to start out with. It was kind of one of those things that he landed into, and it took off from there. So, it's kind of neat because it's a sort of contrarian message to the one I just mentioned earlier from Kate Hudson. So it's kind of neat to see two different actors who follow two different paths, which prove to you, A, if you follow your passion, you can have great success. B, it doesn't have to be about following your passion. So it kind of tells you that either or can work. And so, again, I just wanted to do a short video today, but your takeaways, I might have been sharing some big news, so that might seem a bit like some promotion for Blue Talks, but I hope what your takeaway is I hope you took away those three messages I mentioned. A, about the importance of going all in with your clients and avoiding the distractions and maybe saying no to the distractions a little more. B, the message from Kate Hudson that passion can be everything, and it can basically keep the fire lit while you're going through the hard times and the struggles, especially a career like acting, but it could be any business. And then C, what Stuart said is that it doesn't need to be about finding your passion. And sometimes you just have to be flexible about the opportunities that come your way and jump on those opportunities. Now, having said that, what I decided I'm going to do, one more bonus before we log off, I'm going to open the book to another page here. I'm going to pick something to share with you. You know what? Today I'm going to share a quote from one of the influencers in the back of the book. I'm just going to, let's see. You know what? Here's a good one. Actually, I'm going to switch that. I'm going to switch this because I got a message just before we started this from Dada, the monk dude. And so as I'm opening and look through quotes, I come across his. So I thought maybe I'll share his quote for today. His quote says, in my more lucid moments, I try to take myself less seriously and my mission more seriously. So again, in my more lucid moments, I try to take myself less seriously and my mission more seriously. So it's a great message that, a lot of times I think, make too big a deal about what we do ourselves and maybe the errors we make and the mistakes we make and the challenges we face. But at the same time, sometimes we don't realize how important it is, the purpose that we're serving. And so, what I would, and again, I'm paraphrasing, I'm basically picking up his quote and giving my take on it. But what I would say from that is, think about it today. Are you taking the little missteps you have too seriously? Or are you not taking your purpose seriously enough? With that, I'm Corey Poirier. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you. I adore you. I salute you. I honor you. And I once again thank you. So I hope you have a magical rest of your day. Thanks for tuning in. I guess you always know how to reach out to me through one of the social media channels you're watching this video on. Or like I say, feel free to check out bluetalks.com and you can reach out that way. Thanks, everyone, and have a magical rest of your Wednesday.